All right. So you try to wedge your way into the small hole.
Nope.
I-
You
New
you
verb.
find
New
you
verb.
find you
Find
find
a new
yourself.
verb. Find
I'm
a new
small.
verb.
I'm small. I'm small. I've shifted into a small creature.
You are
do that?
very
Point of
small.
order? Point of order?
You are very small. You think
But is it really
that
tight? Is it really
it's
tight though?
super tight. You think you might need some sort of lubricant to help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some good berry
I
juice.
couldn't finish. I couldn't do it. All
working
right.
on it.
Sorry. All right.
Cut. We'll start again. We're gonna start this whole episode over.
It's point of
Hey,
order.
it's
point of order.
Weekly discussion of the D&D 5e holes. All right.
I thought we were doing Kama
Why did you
Sutra.
guys
Is that not what we're
only
doing?
do 15 episodes?
Oh God.
I don't understand.
Well, we got canceled after episode 15.
Did you watch episode
Self-cancel.
15?
Yeah.
Self-cancel.
All right. It is point
Bring
of
out
order.
the clown. Sorry.
Oh my god. It's point of order. Our weekly discussion of D&D of the D&D 5e rules, occasionally interrupted by some actual role playing. This is episode 15 of our campaign, All the Time in the World. And without further ado, with a little more ado, let's jump back in. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, our party had ventured into Deepborn Cleft in search of Larthakia's lair, which perhaps might hold some clues as to the Chronomaticum, an ancient arcane relic that could supposedly control the flow of time, and sought after by a mysterious group known as Inevitable Night. As the party traveled from room to room, they fought strange lizard-like insectoid creatures. Some of the party actually perishing at the hands of these feral monsters. However, they were revived after a mystical and seemingly divine intervention and pressed on through the complex, stumbling on a strange natural cavern filled with this green glowing acid pool. Hror sent Owl in to investigate, but the poor familiar was instantly destroyed by a fell creature who seemed to be the brood queen who zealously guarded her nest of eggs. And after a terrible battle in which the eggs and the creature were finally destroyed, the party now finds themselves in this acidic, this cavern with this acidic pool, searching for what might be their next step. So, as you all kind of take stock of your situation after the battle with this massive creature, whose body is now, by the way, just sort of lying limply, spilling out gouts and gouts of acid from its headless corpse onto the floor, after Lucius having, shoved like a torch down its throat, caused the head to explode. You look around a little bit and you find that there is there are two methods of egress from this chamber. One is a tunnel that wends its way towards the south and into the darkness, and the other is a very small cavern, a tunnel that was sort of borne out by these creatures. It looks like very small and narrow, one that Valfire could easily fit through, but the others, the rest of you would have to crouch through.
Oh, well, I love fighting and everything. I don't know that I want to follow tunnels that these things have created, right? So I'm looking at that southern tunnel and thinking, might be good. Might be fewer lizard death creatures. What do
I
you
think we
Luke?
should. I think we should see what's in the small tunnel. Maybe there's something good there.
Small tunnel? The small one?
I'm
That
not
they-
going in the small tunnel.
We
What, are you
could send
scared?
Owl. We could send Owl.
I will need a lot of time to bring him back. He is not. He's not listening right now.
Bros, man.
Where'd he go?
Like-
Is he tired? Is he sleepy? But
What about this? Smiles, you still have any of those traps? I would recommend maybe laying a trap or two in front of that small exit or entrance, the back door, and we'll go in the front door.
Bro, man, like, what's the front door? What's the back door?
Yep. Love to know.
The big hole is the front door. The small hole is the back door, obviously.
I have an alternative proposal. How about we sit here and discuss everything until the night falls?
Lucius is like, Valfire, man, the small hole is where I think we kind of want to go. And he kind of like watches up and he like puts his arm around Valfire.
Careful,
and, like,
it's a dirty hole down there. I looked at it. It's very dirty. I would not recommend going into that.
Why did you go here?
Didn't you get that? That was the whole...
I knew it. I was trying to work past it. I was like, he's gonna go there. He's working his way up to it. How do I stop it from happening?
It's spiking.
I'm just like this. I'm like this. I'm just trying to block it.
You're always trying to block the small hole, Mike. I get it.
Smiles is going to shift into something that looks kind of like an Ewok. And I'm going to take out my lamp and peek into this small hole and see what's in there.
We can't.
Okay.
I'll push him
We
through.
now need a newer name. We need a newer name, please.
I
Paul
will-
has ruined this room.
I will push him into
You
the
could
small
always
hole and climb in
the
after him.
Philadelphia Eagles. They do the tush push. So get into the hole and we'll push you from behind.
I push him. I'll do
Be
the
sure
push.
you'll get over the line.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I sneak into the hole.
so you venture forth into the hole rather surreptitiously. And
Don't speak.
this is the
Don't speak.
worst. You guys are the worst.
We
Time
didn't build
out.
this dungeon. You did.
It feels so right. It feels so right. Just shh.
All right.
Paul has like a box of like a zone. Just like he always operates within this box. Like we shouldn't expect anything but that.
It's true. All right. So you try to wedge your way into the small hole.
Nope.
You find yourself.
Find
I'm
a
small.
verb.
I'm small. I'm small. I've shifted into a small creature.
You are
do that?
very
Point of
small.
order? Point of order?
You are very small. You think
But is it
that
really tight? Is it really
it's
tight though?
super tight. You think you might need some sort of lubricant to help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have some good berry
I
juice.
couldn't finish. I
I'm
couldn't do it. All
working
right.
on it.
Sorry. All right.
Cut. Let's start again. We're gonna start this
Yeah.
whole episode over.
It's point of
Hey,
order.
it's point of
Our
order.
weekly discussion of the D&D 5e holes. All right.
I thought we were doing Kama
Why did you
Sutra.
guys
Is that not what we're
only
doing?
do 15 episodes?
Oh God.
I don't understand.
Well, we got canceled after episode 15.
Did you
It's
watch episode
self-cancel.
15?
Yeah.
Self-cancel.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Why
All right,
do
Smiles.
the character?
Yeah.
Smiles.
I'm in there. I'm in the...
You're in the zone. All right, we're all in the zone. Let's get immersed. All right, you transform yourself into a smallish. I think you can only your stature only changes by like a foot, right? But that's enough for you to kind of like.
I can be small. I
Okay,
can
all
change
right.
between small and medium.
Okay, cool. All right, you change yourself into a small creature, and you start to walk through with your lantern. You find that this tunnel actually starts to wind its way sort of left and right, up and down, as if the creature that was kind of burrowing through was sort of like making a mad dash in this particular direction.
Could I stealth from here on out?
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
That is going to be a 21.
21 on stealth, very good. All right, so you very quietly move down the tunnel, and I'll say it curves around up and down, left and right for about a good 50 feet or so before you get to a point where it starts to open up, and your tunnel and the light from your lantern actually illuminates a larger chamber beyond. You can't really see what's beyond yet, but you do see that the tunnel opens up past your lantern light.
Can I be behind him? Again, bugbears have a trait called sneaky that medium creatures can fit into small places.
Yeah, that works. Go ahead and make a stealth check for me if you're trying to be stealthy also.
I would love to. Stealth. I have to figure out what my stealth is. That's a 2, but I have a +5, 7.
Okay. Smiles, as you're very quietly picking your way, avoiding like the little pebbles and scree that have kind of fallen off the sides of the walls. You hear this big lumbering beast behind you, and it is Roar, who is scraping his way through the tunnel, just kind of like clawing at the walls, like bending his way around, like breathing real heavy.
I was thinking breathing really heavy.
Yeah.
You know what, Bugbear?
What do we see?
Room for improvement. That's what we see. Room for improvement.
Okay. Yeah. You never know if you don't try.
All right, but you're there also, Roar, as you see the tunnel also start to open up.
Okay. I'll just kind of peek down between my legs and go, "Hey guys, follow! We found something. Come on through!"
Through. The voice echoes into the.
So it's a big cavern. Is the ground flat where we enter the cavern, or is it?
Give me a perception check. You have the lantern, so it won't be a disadvantage. Just to see what you can see a little bit beyond the light.
You said a persuasion check?
Yes. See if you can persuade the darkness to let you see what's happening.
Okay. All right. That's going to be a...
Why
I get 10 on that, so that'll be a 19. A 19 on persuasion.
The darkness does not seem to be swayed by your smile. So
then it's going to be an 8 on perception.
Oh, now all of a sudden you can see. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you can't see anything.
All right. So I can't tell if we were to step through, if we would just fall to our death.
Yeah. At this point, there's still more of this tunnel to step through, but you basically just stopped where you saw the light kind of open up into a larger hall of some kind or cavern. So you can keep walking forward if you want.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'll keep pushing him. Keep pushing him.
I'm gonna stealth forward here.
Okay, go ahead and give me another stealth check.
It's going to be a 19 this time.
19? Okay. Pretty good. You very carefully pick your way and shine the light sort of just below the overhang of this small tunnel into what looks to be a large chamber. As you kind of shine your lantern across, you see what looks to be a larger bedroom/library. Or sorry, not bedroom, but like living room/library, where you can see rows upon rows of shelves lining the walls, bookshelves, each of them littered with hundreds and hundreds of these old tomes, many of them cracked and rotted and just covered with dust and decay. And around the area, you also see a variety of sitting room furniture, overstuffed armchairs, settees, ottomans, small tables, things of that nature. The floor looks like it was once covered in plush sort of carpeting, which has since kind of rotted away and frayed. Wall hangings, tapestries, all kind of like hanging by thread, some of them having collapsed to the ground. But this seems to be what was once a very finely appointed library of sorts.
I will kind of like push Smiles' face, like just grab and be like, "This is my domain here, buddy. I'm gonna take a look around. You want to look, see if you find it to be very gentle. Please, gentle with the books."
Does it seem like there are any creatures around here? Notice any signs of anybody else?
Make a perception check for me.
Perception, gladly. It's gonna be a 13.
13. Nothing kind of makes itself readily visible to you, but you do notice out of the corner of your eye, there is this brief sort of wispy sort of wind, like a susurration, and you see some dust and some paper start to blow, whoosh, and then it just stops, and the papers just kind of float back gently down and settle.
I'm going right I look for and looking around.
I look for a book titled Chronomaticum.
Okay. For what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start carefully looking through the books.
Okay, both of you make investigation checks for me. Go ahead.
Opposed investigation checks, you said?
It's competitive searching, yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, it is another 2. Investigation. That's an 8.
Okay. Well, 5 for me on my 3 that I rolled.
Wow.
Got it.
Rolling great, guys.
Difficult to tell at first glance. All of these books seem to be in a highly dilapidated state, and every time you pick one up off a shelf, it just collapses in your hand. Like the cover just dissolves. The pages all spill out and hit the bottom. A lot of the moldy, that sort of moldy, musty smell, kind of like wafting into your nostrils. Lucius and Valfire, what are you guys doing?
Lucius is like, Valfire, man, you're kind of wee, man. Why don't you just get in there? Just go. And he's like, kind of like putting his back.
Yeah,
He's like, they already went in through, man.
Don't
The
touch
way
me.
is
Don't touch
clear.
me.
He's
Don't touch me.
No, man. We're friends. We're compadres. Like,
No, man, I
like,
don't
put
trust
his hands on
anything
his
that
shoulders.
dies and comes back. It's not natural. It's not to the way of the life. I didn't say this in front of other people, but you are an abomination to me. And I only handle your presence because we're in this dangerous situation.
Hey, man.
Do not touch me, man. How did you come back?
You're like an abomination to me, man. I love you too, man. Love you
No.
too.
Dude. Bro, I'm being serious.
I'm being serious too, man.
You
man.
f***ing died. You should be dead.
I was dead, man. It was like, do you want to hear about it? You love death. Do you want to hear about it? Kind of do,
Yes,
don't
yes,
you?
yes.
Look at
Yes,
your
yes.
eyes.
Turn
see it in
around
your
and talk
eyes.
to me. And I just go running through the hall. I'm just like, you're an abomination to life.
I'm imagining him running through going, you're an abomination.
Abomination to life.
The two of you in this library here, like through the tunnel, like, you're an abomination. And like the little pitter patter of footsteps, small footsteps kind of running towards
Abomination, abomination, abomination.
you.
Lucius goes, wait for me,
You're not a
guys!"
miracle.
And
You're
he's
not a
like trying to
miracle.
crawl through with his wings. They're like getting caught. He's like, oh, this is awesome. This is so cool. Where are my friends at? Oh man, guys, wait. Oh, I'm stuck. Guys, I'm stuck. Guys, wing. Oh, ow. Ooh, ow.
You come out, you're like, all right. The four of you make it into the chamber and basically see you're all kind of there in the same area now within this ancient library of sorts. As you're all getting a closer look, you can see that there's more in this library than just books and furniture. You see many sorts of like astronomical types of instruments on the along the sides, along the tables. You can see all kinds of strange contraptions, the likes of which you've never seen before, perhaps some of which are arcane in nature, some of them mechanical. And you attempt in your attempt to try to like search through, it's difficult to kind of piece out without a quick or with a more thorough examination, piece out what these things might do. There's also in this chamber a large lectern on which stands a very large book. Turned to some page in the middle that looks as though it bears some importance relative to everything else, all the other tomes in this chamber. But yeah, that is pretty much what you see. Oh, the other thing you notice is that there is a what looks to have once been a doorway leading into and out of this chamber, but has since collapsed and is now buried under a pile of rubble.
I'd like to approach the lectern and use prestidigitation to clean the page, that the prominent page, and then see what I can see.
I'm
Yeah.
right up next to him.
Sure.
Right up next to him.
Okay, you use you walk up to the page that it's kind of turned to and use prestidigitation to clean it up. What you find is that the prestidigitation works to reveal some of the writing on the page. The dust gets blown away, and some of the smudges and dirt gets blown away, but a lot of the page has been sort of eaten through. And as you kind of look at it, you can see tiny little worms kind of, wiggling their way into the pages, like just devouring the
I
book where it
viciously
stands.
mock the worms.
All right.
You are tiny, you mean nothing.
Unfortunately, they succeed on their saving throw, so they don't take any damage, but they do have disadvantage on their next attack against the
on
book.
a page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the AC of the book?
It's like, I don't know, like 25 or something. So all right. So as you but you do manage to make out a few words here and there, and you see some words in what languages do you speak?
Bagpipes.
That's
Flute?
not a language.
Oh, Common and Dwarvish.
Okay. It seems to be in a language that you do not understand.
Draconic, Elvish, Goblin.
Okay. Hror, you do recognize this as Draconic. And what you make out are some words that read Inevitable Night, Postur, the Prime Evils, the Pentad, and the Divine Veil.
Does this look like the crazy writing that we found in that one book in the house?
It sure does.
Make
What's the third thing?
Divine Veil.
The Pentad.
No.
Yeah.
Third
The
after
divine.
Hastor.
the
the
Prime
Prime
Evils. Make an intelligence check for me. It's a relatively low DC.
Love to, because I'm a wizard. 15 plus a 19.
19. Yeah, it's not at all similar to the sort of stream of consciousness rambling of the previous book you had discovered in the house in Cordis. This is much more methodical and academic in its writing.
Okay, cool.
Rose, man, what'd you find?
Oh, this is bad. It's related to Hastur, to the Inevitable Night. Is this book like it's gonna fall apart if I take it?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Oh my gosh, we're doing another one of these. 17 plus. I mean, that is a 20 something or other.
Okay.
What do you math? 21.
Yeah, the book seems very fragile. It would take some very special care to try to get it off, and then handling it might be difficult, depending on what level of intactness you want the book to maintain.
Can I look around and like I'm a little beat up here, guys. We've been through this where we were beat up and we didn't take time. I need time to study this. We are not in a rush here tonight. I want to read and study as much as I can from what's
Rory,
going
what
on.
time do you think it is?
It's dinner time. I'm hungry.
Rose,
well,
man,
let's-
I wouldn't mind a little R&R to like heal my wounds, man.
Yeah. Let's look around, make sure we don't get ambushed by any more lizard crazy stuff and spiders and whatnot. But I gotta study this.
Okay. While you are all talking, Valfire, you notice that there is a sort of breeze, a sort of wind kind of picking up in this chamber. And you notice that dust and a few loose pages are kind of swirling about and seem to be coalescing around the lectern. I think you're muted.
Quiet, you fools. Something's going on here. Look towards the lectern. What's going on here?
Man, looks
Okay.
like just like a cool breeze, man.
Oh, this is something strange.
Yeah, the rest of you see now that Valfire's pointed out, there is a sort of like whirlwind of dust and cobwebs showing up. Some of these pages are getting whipped up in, and the whirlwind starts to take on a light bluish glow as it grows taller and taller and starts to coalesce to what looks to be a humanoid form of sorts. This very translucent, light blue sort of translucent form, and the shape it takes is that of a tall female dragonborn
Rose,
who
Larthakia, man.
bears
Oh,
like
it's
these
It's
who bears,
definitely
like,
Sidonius. It's Sidonius, obviously. You fool.
who bears these robes, these sort of arcane robes, but from a time long gone, of a style and of a fashion that you would have read about in sort of like Smiles, maybe in some of the older plays of like Yore that you would have like performed. And as this form starts to coalesce, you can see the regal bearing start to take form, and this dragonborn looks out upon you all, and as she casts her imperious gaze over you, she opens her mouth and you hear this ghostly whisper of a voice that says, "Oh, for sake."
Smiles says, "You're expecting somebody less than us?"
Difficult to say. Probably, I don't know, something a little bit more heroic. Oh, for sake.
In that moment,
Lucius
in that-
puffs up,
Yeah, yeah.
and like wings puff up, like his feathers start puffing up, and he's just like,
Smiles changes
What did you
form
expect? A
into a
dwarven cleric?
dragonborn.
A human warrior? An elven archer?
Oh,
elderly wizard?
As Valfire lists
Halfling
these
rogue?
different these different visages, Smiles changes into each of them as he says them.
nice. Oh well, that's a nice trick. I will admit that, but yeah, maybe something along the lines of yeah, maybe what you're describing, but neither here nor there. Neither here. It's fine. It's fine. Hello, welcome. My name's Larthakia, and you are.
Looking for Larthakia.
Well, I figured as much. I didn't think you'd be a stranger just wandering in here. Way in the deep-born cleft. Must have had some purpose. Trying to make their way towards hitherto as yet unstated goal. Maybe seeking out a person such as myself by the name Larthakia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lucius steps forward and goes, "Brochacha, man, like woman, like person, man, like name's Lucius," and he sticks out his hand to shake.
Oh, well, you see, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Don't think I can't really. And she like moves her hand towards your hand and just like passes right through. Not very good at interacting with the real world. Sort of this incorporeal form. Not really. And she kind of like passes her hand through you and just kind of like waving it about. It's like, yeah, sorry, not really my thing.
Okay, so this is a neat trick. I honestly might like to learn sometime in the future. Have you just been down here waiting for people to show up? You've been gone a long time. Do you know what's happened up there?
Oh, well, unfortunately, I haven't really been able to leave this place, you see, yeah? I've been sort of stuck here many years. I don't sort of lost track of how many, but I will say that judging by the looks of this, my old library, probably 100 years or so.
It's
Am I right?
Yeah, right
Ooh,
on, right
ooh.
on.
Bros, I think
She looks very proud
she's
of herself.
dead, bros.
100 years. I was right. I was right.
I
the
don't know,
whole
but
time.
but you died and you're here, so maybe she's not dead. Are you dead?
Right. Larthakia, friendo, are you like dead and like a ghost?
Well, I think I'm dead. Not really sure, but here, come this way. Come this way.
He moves forward. He's like, I got questions. So like, do you know about like, there's like these two voices like.
She like tries to put her finger onto your
we
mouth,
only have
but
so
like
many questions.
it doesn't like it's like she's passing right through
And
it.
so,
It's
like,
like
one of them was like,
we have a
was
limited
like,
number
he's
of questions here,
mine.
please.
and like another one's like, no, he's gonna work for me, and like, I don't remember what they look like because I was like kind of confused, but I was dead. I think I was dead, and now I think I'm alive, man. And it's like, I mean, Valfire's freaking out about it. I'm cool with it, I guess, because I'm alive. But like, do you know these people?
well, that's a wonderful story, yeah? I really like to hear more of it, but maybe if I could just tell you my story, it might be helpful for me because having been up to this point, henceforth tied to this location, perhaps most likely dead, not really understanding my present circumstances, only surmising that maybe I've got something to tell someone before I might be released from the bonds that keep me here in this place. Perhaps, therefore, we can exchange some information and maybe set myself free. Yeah?
Right, man. Bro, you know
I
what?
dig it.
My
It's
fault.
great.
It's not about me. It's about you, Larthakia.
I take some seeds out of my pocket and I just like throw them in the corner.
Bro, whoa, bro, those are good seeds. And he like chases after him. He's like trying to pick them up. He's like, whoa, what is this? Was poppy? What is this? He's like
Smile steps up. We come from the Argent Society. I don't know if your passing predates their formation.
That's
we're either way. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
not really a name I'm familiar with. See, I've been stuck here for quite some time, as I have previously mentioned, rooted in this place, this location, geographically and perhaps even spiritually tied here because, again, only guessing, my hypothesis that I have been unable to venture forth beyond the divine veil to the afterlife. My allotted...
Oh, very good. Thank you so much. The name's Valfire. Roar, take it away. What do we need?
Tell
What do
your
we need
feelings
going?
about my death, man.
Quiet, please. She's
Larthakia,
dead.
what?
She stayed dead. You needed to stay dead. I have no problem with the dead. I just have those that don't stay dead.
Well, she's
Chosky.
kind of dead.
We're looking
Larthakia.
for the chromaticum.
The chronomaticum. It's not that hard.
Chron-
It's not that complex. Bellfire, what's wrong with you? What's got into your head?
It's been a day. It's been a day.
Now, that is a name that I am quite familiar with and would love to impart to you now in my presence information which regarding would be most beneficial if you are in fact searching for said relic.
Yes, we are indeed. What do you know?
Would be helpful because some bad stuff's happened. Pending judgment. Lots of death.
In the
Let's
corner,
talk.
Lucius is like still finding the seeds. He goes, "Ask her about the chronomaticum,m," and then he like continues.
Yeah,
to
we
look for the
yeah we
seeds.
got
And
it.
I
We
throw
got it,
more.
bud.
I throw more seeds over there. Just like
Yes. So at the mention, like Rora, as you're kind of speaking, she kind of like looks quizzically at you for a second. It's like, what was that name you said? Pending what now?
Pending judgment.
Chronomaticum.
Oh no, I said pending judgment. It's the big.
Oh, here we go
asteroid
again.
in the sky. Yeah.
What a fantastic idea.
Oh, so they've come up with a name for it then, yeah?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's terrifying, kinda, and beautiful.
Oh, interesting. Oh, there's a lot for me to catch up. Unfortunately, I probably won't get a chance because I think once I tell you everything you need to know, I will be hopefully released from these bonds and venture forth into the afterlife beyond the divine veil to my predetermined fate, perhaps among the gods, perhaps among the stars. Who's to say? Maybe you've been there, I haven't. We shall see. Yeah?
She
Bros,
sounds like
man,
Owl.
this woman talks like more than I do, man.
Can you take Lucius with you, please?
Is that your boyfriend?
Yes.
No, that's Owl. But he got eaten. All right, please tell us what do we need to know here? What's happening?
All right, well, what do you know so far? Maybe that would be the easiest way for me to tell you what I need to.
Sure. 100 years ago, pending judgment showed up and
I
wiped
was
out.
right. It was 100 years. I thought so.
Yeah. No, so I'm honest. You're good at math too, and like smart. That's cool. It's neat.
I don't mean to brag, but I did win an award when I was in school, getting my education about the mathematical spheres, and learning and having also taught in that vein was also quite renowned for my prowess.
God,
in
you
regards
sound like my bird. So, pending judgment shows up 100 years ago, absolutely wipes out the city underneath it. You are a dragonborn, aren't you? Were you part of that whole ruling society? I might just have to. We'll circle back to that. Really mess some stuff up.
Don't deviate.
Just really mess some stuff up. Now there's some cults that are looking to bring back some pretty terrible things. Inevitable Night sounds not great. I like the sun. It's a lot better than being in, I guess, perpetual darkness, which is what could happen. And honestly, this Chronomaticum, we don't know. I'd love to study it. Maybe we could reverse some of this stuff. Are you feeling caught up here?
Well, I have to say that you know very little. And
Yeah,
I'm going to
it's
have
fair.
to.
It's fair.
We
Yeah.
were before this. We were literally fighting in a quarry that was a pit. So, not the brightest bulbs.
The Quarry
escaped the
Boys, we
hobgoblins.
call ourselves. We're a ragtag crew, a fight club of sorts, entertainment that you've never seen before. Come on, come on. The greatest show in all of Cordis.
Smells, tell him about the fighting.
Oh, tonight we've got the vicious Lucius.
All
We'll
right.
take on.
I'm just gonna palm his face and just put him to the side.
She's like, she's shaking her. She's like, oh, for sake.
These are not the heroes you're looking for.
Yeah.
They're
Definitely
the heroes
not.
you deserve.
All right, where should I even start? I don't even know. Do you know about the Divine Veil?
Do we know about the Divine Veil, Rush?
Yeah, do I know
Uh,
about the Divine Veil?
Make a religion check.
I would love to.
Ooh, that's not good. 11.
Actually, Lucius, you can make it with advantage.
Yeah, you should. I got a 2 on the die, so no.
Okay.
No.
Ooh, 18.
But I got
18,
a
okay.
17. I got a 17.
Okay. So
It's actually
the Divine Veil is not a concept that is widely known about or discussed. And Smiles, you probably know about it just from the many stories that you've come across in your travels, tales that you've heard and told repeatedly. Lucius, you have no idea what it is until Larthakia starts talking about it, and then all of a sudden something clicks in your mind and it makes total sense to you.
All right, I stand immediately up from the seeds and be like, "Would you say Larthakia? What'd you say?"
So, Smiles, you know the Divine Veil as a mystical, diaphanous shroud that surrounds and obscures the world. And there is no way to find the world of Anaril through the Divine Veil, such that the gods are actually unable to manifest themselves directly on Anaril and can only sort of vaguely influence things via sort of poking and prodding at the veil, sort of in a way that you might indirectly disturb something by, poking through a curtain and touching something on the other side. And that is how the gods manifest their powers in Anaril.
Sorry, the shroud.
The veil is a shroud.
The veil is a shroud, but the shroud prevents the gods from interfering as they otherwise might, and so their power is limited here.
Yeah.
Or
So basically, the gods can't. The Divine Veil enshrouds the world, so the gods can't find Anaril, right?
Yeah,
it's
okay.
completely lost to them. But they can poke and prod at it, and that's how they kind of exert their influence. They're like how clerics might manifest their powers, or other things, that sort of thing. So,
okay.
Lucius stands up and goes, "Bro, man, I don't know about the Divine Veil, but I know about it."
and the reason it sounds familiar to you, Lucius, is because in the afterlife you had passed through some sort of veil or curtain, and beyond which you saw like that endless sky and sun, and experienced all those bitchin' waves of air. But you did pass through some sort of like flapping curtain of sorts.
Okay. He just kind of like says, "What'd you say?" And like his eyes kind of glaze over. And he's like staring off, has a distant stare.
Yeah.
Just kind of like lost in his memory of that.
So this is what you know, Smiles, and sort of what comes to what comes as a revelation to you, Lucius, as Larthakia starts speaking about it. And she says, "Wow, very long time ago, Anaril was a place where the gods used to fight, yeah? They used to come down to Anaril and just settle their differences, lay waste, play tricks upon the populations of people. And, some of them were nice, but some of them not so nice, yeah? And then some of them were really mean. And so what happened was there were these three really evil ones. Like, we called them the prime evils. And there was this group, see, the Pentad. Very nice gods, very, very loving. People worshipped them, very nice. And they decided they were going to band together and banish the prime evils from Anarul, yeah? So, really great thing that they did. It was the last great act they did before the Pentad realized the only way Anarul can grow and be safe is if none of the gods were allowed to set foot here again, yeah? So, they made the ultimate sacrifice and burned up their divine essences to create the divine veil, which now enshrouds the world. See? And none of the gods can make their way here and muckety muck things up about, yeah? But things started to take a turn for the worse. About 100 years ago, there was this group, yeah, called Inevitable Night. Bunch of real mean and they wanted to bring back one of these prime evils. The one named Hastur. Real piece of real cruel son of He was banished by the Pentad, encased in rock, and flung to the other side of this universe, yeah? But Inevitable Night, they figured out, hey, we can make a ritual to bring him back. And then they went about casting this ritual, and everyone was like, oh, this is not good. And then all of a sudden, this big giant meteor comes swooping down towards Anarul, and everyone was like, uh-oh, this is not great. And we were all prepared to die except for me. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm going to have to in this case to get through the story. I decided I would start playing around with the Chronomaticum. See? And I went and I turned some dials and I pushed some buttons, and then time just stopped. That big meteor just started hovering over the sky and hasn't moved since. But in the process, I cast a spell to teleport myself here, where I had created this place to be safe in case of an emergency. And yeah, the rest of the what you now call the Broken Waste is kind of
Yeah, it's really I'm sorry, is Hastur in that meteor?
Oh yeah, he's inside that thing.
This seems fine. This is fine. This seems fine. This is fine. This is fine. It's fine.
He's just standing there like,
where is the Chronomaticum now?
Oh, you see, that's the problem. I haven't seen it in about 100 years, but before I did, I may have been a little too fiddly with the bits, if you get my meaning, and I think it sort of exploded, and maybe it sort of got shattered, and boy, some of those parts flew really far. I could see like the fiery streaks stretching out over the horizon. That was quite a mess, quite a mess.
This seems like a good thing, actually.
No. Who
Yes.
made the Chronomaticum?
Oh, ancient wizards from the Draconis Imperium. My people older even than me, and we were set to look after it and make sure it didn't fall into the wrong hands. Yeah.
Rory, you could just make a new one. You're a bugbear.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
I don't see why not. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's go.
Maybe. I made an owl. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So just make instead of making an owl, make a Chronomaticum.
Were you in Dendrith when you cast this spell and teleported here?
Yeah, that's right. That was the capital of the Draconis Imperium.
Yeah, it's so destroyed right now.
Well, where I'm from, we used to have a saying.
Uh-huh.
You can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. But I'm not sure what happens if you break all the eggs
And then freeze.
And
time.
then also murder the chicken that laid the eggs.
Yeah.
And then
then you
stop
get a
time so that you can't give birth to any more chickens.
Do you think how are they gonna? Oh, we can't let Haster show up here because the good gods, the Pentad, they can't show up. Can we get them here? Can we summon?
They're gone. They're gone.
Oh, the Pent? No, you're not gonna be, lad. You're not gonna be able to do that. Yeah, the Pentad, they burned up their divine essences. They are the divine veil.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, hold on.
Right.
Like all the good gods are gone, or just like?
No, not all the good gods, just the best ones.
So like tell me who's left. Like maybe describe them. Like maybe
well,
even mimic their voices so I can hear them.
I'm not really a priest or religious sort of figure. I don't really know that stuff. I'm just sort of more of a very powerful sorceress who happens to nearly destroy the world.
Sure. Here's the problem: is that Inevitable Knight still around, still trying to bring Hastor back. We've fought some Starspawn, which seem like they're not from around here, which isn't good.
Oh yeah, Starspawn.
Yeah.
They usually show up when Hastur or one of the other 3 primevals start making their way into the world.
Oh,
There's one called Stogash, also a mean right f***er. And then there's one called Morslish, also really mean.
you?
Dirty DM.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
Well, let me ask you this. Way back then, if you didn't have the Chronomaticum, what would you have done?
Oh, I imagine we all would have just perished in a flash of fire and flame, and then those of us who had survived would be enslaved by Hastur as he brought about his eternal darkness upon the world.
Well, that's not very creative for a
So, like,
sorceress. Why don't you tell me what you really think?
Hastur's like the head primeval. He's the primeval.
I don't really know if they had a hierarchy or much of a pecking order, if you will. I know they were just all really bad, and they all just kind of worked together sometimes. But one of the things the Pentad had going for it was that the primevals really, all very selfish as evil people tend to be, and couldn't really work together for very long. So
That's how I know we're good guys, is because we communicate with each other. We work together.
Yeah.
it's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah, man. So like, if you met like one of the gods and they didn't like enslave you, would that mean they're good? If they like, say, imagine you met a god and you're like dead, and then they like said you're not dead anymore. Would that mean like good god?
Well, I suppose it has something to do with perhaps your own particular situation, and thinking that maybe if your time in Annual is more of a good experience, then yeah, maybe that's a good thing. But if you're living a life, then maybe that's a form of punishment, and maybe that god is not so good. Maybe he's evil.
Cool, man. That's like not an answer that I wanted to hear, but like, it's an answer. So like, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
He's concerned because he was dead and came back. And from my understanding, he's complete evil. He's the evil dead.
Well,
He has a
That-
boomstick.
that sounds like a personal problem you all are going to have to solve, in addition to this other problem of Inevitable Night still existing and trying to bring Hastur back into the world.
Zach, is the Chronomaticum, was it easy to use? Because like you said, you used froze time, but we kind of also have this indication that it can reverse time. Like, can we get rid of pending judgment? Can we send it back far, far away? I don't want Hastur around. Can we
That's
recreate the Chronomaticum?
That's an interesting thought. I suppose you could if you knew what you were doing.
Now, what if
So,
we
like-
didn't know what we were doing? Could we just
I mean,
destroy
I'm
impending
pretty smart.
judgment?
Well,
I'm pretty smart.
let me tell you this. I didn't know what I was doing,
Okay.
and here we are.
So who knows what they're doing besides you?
At this
Or
point,
is there a creature alive that might be able to help us?
considering
A dragon,
consi-
perhaps, or
considering-
a long-lived elf, perhaps.
considering I'm dead, I would say there are 0 people left in the world who know anything about the Chronomatic.
Great.
So like,
Great.
does that mean, man, you like worked by yourself, or like you didn't have like a crew or posse, like people you worked with?
Oh, there were a whole bunch of us in Dendrith. We were all there, the whole enclave, the whole Wizards Enclave. But, we knew pending judgment was coming, and they were like, no, we can't use it. You can't stop the flow of time. And then some of us was like, oh, we have to use it. It's the only way to save the world. And then there was a lot of arguing and fighting, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because we're running out of time. And so I just did it. And some of them were like, no, no. And then some of them were like, yeah, yeah. And then, well, now no one's around anymore to say one way or another.
So like, do you like remember where like the pieces of the Chronomatica might have fall? Like, if could you draw like on a map maybe? Just like, because it sounds like we need that to be put back together maybe.
That sounds about right. And I would venture to guess that if Inevitable Night is still around and they know about the Chronomaticum, maybe they're trying to do the same thing, yeah?
Bro, no, they can't do that. That's ours.
Well, I mean, it's not ours, but it should be ours. Yeah.
I mean, it's not ours. It's yours in terms of Larthakia. Like, it's kind of yours, but like you're dead, and I'm like, I was dead, but I'm alive. So like, could you let us have it?
She like passes her hand through you again one more time, and she's like, well, I can't really do much with objects in this world at this point. So I suppose by default, I have to give up all my pretension or my intentions on any worldly possessions that may or may not have been once mine. So I would say that if you were to, say, find the Chronomaticum and claim it for yourself, there's really not much I could do about it. So, yeah.
Okay, dibs for the Quarry Boys. Yeah, dibs. Let the world know.
Not sure if that puts us in a better place or a worse place or the same place, but I would say it's probably better than letting the Inevitable Night capture it because
could you draw us what that looks like, the Chronomaticum, so we know?
She's like passing her hand through you this time. It's like, can't really interact with things.
Just
no
describe it.
No papers. It was a really big artifact. It sat on a table about this big, and she's stretching her hands out like to the maximum width, and maybe about this wide. And it had all kinds of bells and pulleys and levers and buttons.
Wait, really?
And this big, huge, all these pipes that ran around, and there was this massive sort of globe at the top that was filled with like this magical energy, and you would turn one of the knobs and then it would start to glow, and then you turn another one and it would dim, and it was yeah, you had to have a quite the academic background to use that thing.
So you like don't know where the pieces are?
Oh no, I don't know. I didn't exactly stay around to look and see which direction they went. I knew one definitely flew to the southwest, and that's about all I know.
So like, is there a way to like, Chronomaticum sounds like Mondo powerful, man. Is there a way to like detect like its like gamma signature or something, man? Like the radiation that emits from it. Like, imagine we had a guy named Bruce that was like an expert at like detecting that kind of stuff. Could we like, no?
What I'll say is that the various pieces were all infused with the magic of time, but not only did they contribute to the larger function of this device, but they also, each piece contained its own sort of magical essence, yeah? So every one of the pieces has some sort of effect on time. And there are really three main pieces that you have to get. And when you stitch those together, you can make the essence of the Chronomaticum work for you.
I mean, well, what are the pieces? Are they like a pulley and like a slide rule? Like, what are you talking about?
That's beyond me. I never really understood it. That's why I was always kind of fiddling around with the buttons and not quite sure what the pieces did. And...
Larthakia, of late, the pending judgment has been changing and has an impact on our world. Could it be that forces evil forces have gotten their hands on one of the 3 main pieces, if we are noticing a change pending judgment?
Maybe. I suppose that depends on once you have one of those pieces, what you might be doing with it. Yeah. What are you noticing?
The moon, the powers and connected to the moon have changed, and pending judgment's glowing brighter in the skies. I can't remember what was been said in the past, but all I know is
like pending judgment has its own luminescence and has been growing brighter.
Yeah.
going brighter. Yeah.
When you mention that, she kind of like, oh, that's interesting. One of the names of Hastur was Devourer of the Moon, so it's quite possible that this being, heretofore encased in this giant rock, is perhaps siphoning off power from the moon to power his own dastardly, nefarious ends.
Larthakia, I will admit that I have not been a fan of, well, we call them neo-imperialists now, but the Draconis Imperium. I guess... Well, I mean, what... Can't believe we're asking you for help to do this. Did Inevitable Knight... Who were they? Where were they based?
It was a secret society
Uh-huh.
made up of all kinds of folks. They were led by a tiefling, and I'll say that those of us from the Draconis Imperium did not get along with those of the tiefling race because of some earlier calamity they had tried to bring upon the world, which we had stopped many centuries ago. I wasn't around for it, only through, hearsay or whatnot, stories of bards and all that. But I will say that this leader of Inevitable Night was a tiefling, and did somehow stumble across this ritual to bring back Hastur into the world.
Yeah, because we don't know where to find them. But if we knew where they were, maybe we could, if they got a piece of this thing, we can go find them and take it from them, right?
Well,
If they already have one of the fragments, let's say, then I would do my best to try to get it back.
Yeah. Cool. We've been hearing bad things going on in Telworth. We've been hearing about in Venipal. The leader. Oh crap! We gotta go west, across the Broken Waste. Oh man.
Is that head?
Yeah, the Stone Defilers. We talked to some people. They said the shaman has an artifact that can see into the future. Yep.
That sounds time related.
That is definitely time related. That's one. Larthakia, oh man, I don't want you to go away. You kind of know a lot of stuff. Listen, let's not release her just yet. I would love to learn some. There's got to be some favorite spells and stuff you could talk me through. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I've had some training with the elves. I've never done it with a dragonborn. I'm not gonna lie. You guys kind of pissed me off for a while, but it sounds like, the enemy of my enemy sort of thing.
Well, I think I've been feeling deep inside certain emotions that are forming perhaps a kinship of sorts between me and you all. And so I think, despite the fact that you all are a bunch of incompetent fools, that maybe you're our best / only chance of trying to stop this terrible disaster from happening, which, by the way, I probably won't be around for, as I can slowly start to feel the chains binding me to this world start to become untethered, and I will soon be floating away off into the nether regions of the multiverse.
If you see Owl, tell him a hello, and I'm sorry if he talks so much about runes. It's really boring.
Sounds pretty awful. But I will say, as a parting gift, I'm happy to try to walk you through a spell if you'd like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which spell would you like?
Oh man, there's so many. I will get back to you. Oh man, there's so many good ones. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh.
This is your only time, Tom. You better ask for it now.
Yeah, buy me some time. Buy me some time.
There's
Yeah,
a spell
Smiles.
that's like murder, death, kill, or something. One finger punch, or what?
Are you talking about Finger of Death? One of my favorite spells. Really good. I used to use that one all the time, although in retrospect, probably shouldn't have. But still, quite a fun time if you are perhaps using it against those who might be of an inimical nature to that which you are professing a profound belief in. And I might add, also
Smiles jumps in and says, I want wish. Teach me wish.
not gonna be able to teach that one, my friend, I'm afraid. However,
True polymorph?
I think I've got a scroll of that somewhere around here. Good luck. And at her feet, you can see these wispy clouds start to form as her form starts to whistle away or while away into the atmosphere, and slowly as it starts to fade up further and further, it's like, I think we've got time for one more question.
Go ahead, Rory.
When Lucius closes his eyes, goes, "What color are my eyes? Do you remember?"
I think they were.
Perfect.
What's your favorite book? Sorry.
She wasn't really looking at me. She was looking through me, man.
She fades away into a cloud of sparkles and mist that slowly start to dissipate on a strange wind that blows through this chamber and then suddenly dies away. And left on the ground, you can see a pair of footprints in the dust seemingly from this incorporeal creature, but somehow a pair of footprints were left just at the last second.
Lucius is like, "All right, man. It sounds like we got some components of the Chronomaticum to pick up. Sounds like we'll be doing some walking or flying."
Yeah.
Do you think we should check back in with the Argent before we quest for these parts?
We'll send Owl.
Owl's dead.
I can bring him back.
He'll come back, man.
He'll come back. Can I?
We should take a quick short hour rest before we do anything else.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
let's
only
do
take a
that.
long rest. I've already
Alright.
taken a short rest today.
Why don't we,
That's not
as players, take a break right here, and we will be back to
extremely short rest. Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. We'll be back in a few minutes to figure out what the party does next as they conclude their conversation with Larthakia.
I love how Paul's like already gone.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. And we're back. The party has just spoken with the spirit of Larthakia after having spent a lot of time trying to locate her lair and fight through it, and now inundated with the knowledge that she had imparted to them before dissipating into the wind. Let's learn what the party decides to do next.
I'm gonna look around one more time to actually see if there's any scrolls. That would be very, very cool.
Okay, go ahead and make a give me an investigation check.
Smiles, would you like to help me with this?
Of course. You're my buddy. I'd help you with anything.
Thank you. 1, 2. Oh, boys. That's a 17 plus investigation plus 6. Ooh, that's a 23. That's
23.
a 23.
All right, very good. You do find some scrolls, and they do. Most of them are very badly damaged and appear like as you kind of like unfurl them, they just fall into pieces of dust and shreds. But you do find one that appears to be somewhat intact, and it does appear to be of an arcane nature.
Okay.
And for I will say that it can be a spell of your choosing, up to a level that you can cast. In according to your class definition, all that. But that has all just increased because you have all just reached 5th level.
Yes! Yes! Do we do that right
Does
now?
that mean we're
Do we do that
taking a
right
long
now?
rest?
Yeah, that's up to you. You if you'd like to take a long rest, you can certainly try. But all it means is you guys have hit the milestone and you are now 5th level.
Oh, yes.
Raj.
I think we are gonna bunk up here. Like we're gonna kind of breathe, plan our next. I don't know what time of day it is, frankly, but we have had some fights and some scrapes and some world possibly ending knowledge dropped on us.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Raj, I have a question. I actually want to. Lucius will want to search for a book as well. He's gonna be looking for a book on the gods. Something for him to kind of, anything on the gods.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
5, Raj.
5.
5.
Again, the bindings on these books are difficult to read, and they're all just sort of falling apart. As soon as you touch one, it just crumbles in your hands. It's difficult to. You're unable to find something.
And Smiles is gonna go ahead and look around for that wish scroll.
All right, go ahead and make an
Technically,
investigation.
didn't you technically help?
True. Did I find anything while helping?
Well, technically, you were
Rory?
helping him look for scrolls.
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly try to make another investigation check to see if there's anything else of value here.
All right, hold on. We're busy leveling up on that tab.
While they're looking, Raj, as far as leveling up, any special guidance for me?
Any special guidance in terms of what?
How I'm going to level up?
Oh, well, we can handle it offline.
Okay.
So that's a 17, Rush.
17. Okay. As you look through, you don't find any scrolls that seem to be intact or of any particularly interesting nature, but you do find 2 seemingly intact but dust-covered crystal vials or glass bottles, I'll say.
Crystal. I love crystal.
Yeah. And they seem to be have as you kind of like brush them off and look at them, you see one of them has a sort of an orangish liquid inside that's almost like a fizzy kind of water, and the other one has a sort of, it's clear liquid, but there's sort of a white, cloudy, wispy kind of vaporous substance like swirling around in the clear water.
I turn to Rory and I say, "Hey, can you help me figure out what this is? What these are? What they might do?"
Oh yeah, sure, bud. I'll dip a little pinky in and taste. Do I figure this out?
Okay. Yeah, you dip a pinky in. You taste. Which one do you taste first?
The murky one.
Instantly die.
Yeah.
Straight to jail.
So the one that has like sort of it's clear, but it has sort of like the wispy kind of whitish vapors inside. You taste that one, and as you touch it to your tongue, you start to feel your tongue grow insubstantial, and you look at the tip of your pinky, and it's sort of like this clear, translucent sort of coloration before it very quickly fades off, and it looks like you have found a potion of gaseous form.
Cool. Can I help with the other one for him?
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
So this one is sort of like a fizzy kind of orange liquid, almost like one of those obnoxious flavors of Mountain Dew. And as you touch it to your tongue, you get this really spicy, like hot burning sensation, and you have this sudden urge to sneeze. And as you do, this gout of flame just bursts out of your mouth.
It always happens like that, I swear. Oh my god.
And then you realize you've just consumed a tiny bit of a potion of fire breath.
Ooh, okay.
Good.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, do you guys want to bed down here for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna start laying out the bear traps, the monster traps, the creature traps.
Sure. Also, what did you roll in your investigation? It was like 17,
20.
right?
17.
him,
yeah.
17. Yeah. So you also find a small wooden chest that seems to have rotted away mostly, but has a rusty lock kind of encapsulating it.
No, I just kind of knocked the lock off. I assume it just falls apart. My
Make an athletics check for me.
athletics with pleasure. It's a 6.
It does not just fall off as you might imagine.
Oh, I viciously mock it. What a stupid dumb lock. Dumb lock thinks it's so strong with all this rust on it and garbage. And...
Smalls, man, just step aside, man. There are other people that could probably take this lock on.
No, I've got it. And I say to the lock, "Come on, lock. You want to open? You want to open, lock? Open for me." And I persuade.
Make a persuasion check. It's totally
with pleasure. With my new level, that's a 28.
28. Unfortunately, the lock does not seem swayed by your words.
What?
I take a little bit of water from my pouch when he's kind of like talking to the lock, and I'll just shape water into the lock and then freeze it to like explode the lock open.
Oh, okay. I love it.
I'll try to do it in a way that Smiles doesn't notice it, but like just thinks that it's his communication.
Make a deception check for me.
Or what else? You sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand, sure. Make sleight of hand.
Let's go. 15.
15. Yeah. So as Smiles, as you're kind of hurling insults at it, and then trying to cajole it to open, the lock just shatters all of a sudden, right in front of you for no apparent reason.
That's right, lock. I did that to you. It was me. What I say to the lock.
Yes. The remnants of the lock. Yeah.
Yeah. And I open up the chest carefully.
Yeah. You
Oh,
open
it could be trapped.
You open it up, and I need you all to roll a Constitution saving throw. No, just kidding. Inside, you see the glint of gems and jewels as you open it up and find a box, a chest full of all kinds of gems. What look to be primarily rubies, garnets, topazes, sapphires, emeralds. It's diamonds. There's a bunch of stuff in here.
Is there any silver in here?
So you don't find any silver necessarily.
All right, I'd say, hey
Good
guys.
question.
I think we should. Why don't we all carry some of this and divide it up evenly amongst the 4 of us?
Okay. So it looks to be, just as you're divvying it up and sort of like taking stock of what you have, it looks to be about 3,000 gold pieces worth of gems. Of all, they're mostly like sort of tiny sized gems, but basically broken out into like 500 gold pieces worth of rubies, another 1,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds, another 500 of emerald. And then what am I left at? Another 500 of like sapphires, let's say.
So should we just take 750 gold pieces to our inventory, or would you rather?
You'd have to break it out into the gems, right? So we'll say that there's like, of the, like, say, of 500 gold pieces worth of rubies, there's like 10 50 gold piece rubies, something like that.
How would you want us to capture this in our inventory? Is I guess my question.
We'll handle it afterwards.
Yeah,
we'll do it. I'll just send you a list, and then you can just say like,
Okay, fantastic.
Dang, cool. Oh man, before I start bend down, I am gonna start ritually casting Find Familiar. Pull out some what is it? Find Familiar.
Incense.
Pull out some charcoal. Actually, charcoal, because incense and herbs. But like, I got a lot of charcoal. I got a lot of some lumps in there that I light on fire every once in a while, and I'll start working on bringing Owl back.
Okay. So you start going into the throes of the ritual spell casting. What are the rest of you doing?
I've laid the traps at all the entrances to the living room.
Okay.
Or library study.
Okay.
Lucius will continue looking for a book, and assuming he doesn't find any, he will spend some time perched in a corner meditating.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another investigation check.
6.
Yeah, still difficult to parse through this library.
And I'll
Balthar?
turn into wolf form, just as a comfortable, as just like a way to get comfortable.
Okay.
You want me to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yes. Yeah, make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
17.
17. Okay. Yeah. As you go into your lupine form, the senses of the beast start to tickle at the edge of your mind, but you manage to kind of shake it away and realize that you have a goal here to keep you and your companion safe. And so as you all sort of bed down for the night, Hror, as you go into the throes of spellcasting and kind of come to the culmination of the ritual, with a flash of arcane sparks and feathers, Owl appears like poof in front of you. Like, oh, I'm slain! Hror! Most terrible! The wicked beast of fangs and claws!
We killed that. Don't you worry about a thing. We took some revenge. We got it.
My goodness.
Lucius exploded its head.
By the gods, that was quite this. I wish I had been around to help you and show that beast what for. Yes.
Yeah. You're so strong. No, I'm so glad you're back. You missed a lot. We found Larthakia.
You did. By the gods, please tell me what happened.
Pending judgment is Hastor, is a terrible, terrible, evil god, coming to murder everything and destroy us all forever. And the Chronomaticum is split across the world, and we need to find it and put it back together and save the world. So, we're gonna be famous.
Yes, I suppose if you are in fact successful in this quest of defeating a latent deity hellbent on destruction of the world, then yes, I imagine you would gain some accolades from this.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Elephant's gonna be so proud of me.
But you know what I think would help most, Hror? Perhaps a lesson on runic symbology, the field of study that I haven't been engaged with. I had so much time to study during this interim period in which I could not communicate.
Going on.
So much indeed. I have learned much about the downstroke of the fire rune between the elvish and dwarvish symbol.
You know what? And I'll his little beak. And these guys are gonna get sleepy and tired, and I'm gonna let them sleep. But let's go have a discussion over here, because actually I think there's some new things we can work on together. Okay. Pull him off to the side and actually hold on to him.
Okay. All right. We'll just whisper then. Yeah. And now, runic symbology. Chapter 1.
I am asleep in 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
I can imagine Owl would be like,
good
night, my prince. And he's like tucking Warren.
He's like bringing the blanket over with his beak, just like.
He never gets past the third paragraph.
No, never.
Until the morrow, sweet Hror.
He just has to stay awake and around. He can't go back to his dimension.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, I wish I could return to my studies.
Cool.
All right. For the rest of you, the night does not pass uneventfully. You are all plagued with dreams. Horrific dreams of a darkness born from a light. A dream in which these oozing black tendrils start to snake out from pending judgment, which you can see far off in the distance, and start to obscure the light as they crawl around and slowly envelop what remains of this asteroid hovering above, just a few hundred feet above the Earth's surface. And as you kind of look upon the horror, you see the moon start to crumble and fall out of the sky in giant chunks as it just shatters piece by piece, eventually leaving a black gaping void. And when you look back to pending judgment, you see it is completely its own sort of elongated void, and it starts to rotate towards you as like sort of the oblong face makes its way around in your direction. You see an eye just open all of a sudden, and then another, and then another, and then another, and it's just these evil greenish yellowish eyes of varying sizes all looking at you. And you see that it slowly starts to rotate and point in your direction and starts to move towards you very slowly at first, but then gaining speed rapidly, faster and faster, until there's an impact, and right before pending judgment slams into all of you, you wake up with a start, all at the same time in the middle of the night, gasping for breath, covered in sweat, looking at each other, trying to figure out what just happened. Did you was that?
You guys saw the eyeballs?
Bros, man, that's not good. Man, Haster knows we know, and he knows now that we know, and we know that he knows that we know.
Valfire, get out of our minds. I know you were here doing your little telepath thing and fool all of us to think the same thing and go kill Lucius in his sleep, and I didn't do it again. You gotta get over this. I told you we're gonna make peace with it.
It was a pleasant dream, wasn't it? I didn't dream of slaughter and murder, so that was nice.
You dream of slaughter and murder usually?
Traditionally, yes. It's quite unpleasant, whereas this one was just mildly unpleasant.
Well, I've lived.
I slept the
slaughter and
best,
murder.
slept 8 hours I've ever had in my life.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
recent months.
By the gods.
Did we? Did we complete our long rest?
No, you've all just sort of woken up in the middle of the night.
Okay,
yeah.
Just yeah.
I'm gonna Owl, who's I guess probably just near me too. I'm gonna go. Hey bud, just keep an eye out. Peck at us if
One
you
of us would have stayed awake unless we passed out.
Yeah, passed out.
Ever vigilant, I shall be, Raw.
Thanks, bud.
Bros, man. So like,
The head like
that was
rotates all
Haster,
the way
right?
around.
Yeah, that was Haster.
So like he knows.
We got to get to that shaman. We got to start getting some chronomaticum pieces.
Yeah, man. We need to get to sleep and we need to get going. We need to go through the hole that Valfire hates. And we'll get back to the
And Smiles falls back asleep.
Okay. All right. You all return to an uneasy sleep, but do manage to complete your long rest after some time and find yourselves awakened now to what you think to be morning, or at least 8 hours later. And yeah, you are awake in this chamber that you had met Larthakia in.
I gather
Okay.
back up the traps.
Nice.
I
Go ahead.
I begin to work my way through the hole back to the previous chamber we're in.
Okay. You make your way into the acid-filled chamber, which is still bubbling and roiling and casting its green, eerie glow across everywhere. But yeah, you see the corpse of the creature still there.
All right. And I kind of turned back into the hole and I said, "Bros, let's go."
Is there another exit from this place, or just the hole that we came through?
There are two exits. The one that the one you entered from to come into this chamber originally, and then one tunnel sort of leading to the south. That leads directly to the south.
And it's not collapsed. It's clear through that way.
Yeah, it's a burrowed tunnel, but it's open. Yeah.
All right. Don't you guys want some adventure? Shouldn't we discover something new? Do we really want to go back to where we came?
Time is of the essence, bros.
Yeah,
Literally,
I
time
don't
is
like
what we gotta catch up to.
lots of eyeballs looking at us in our sleep. We gotta go.
Yeah, you don't want to send Owl down that and just let us know what he finds or sees.
He-
Nothing like that.
Died last time I did that. And
Yeah, it's a good sacrifice. Good sacrifice.
no, I like my owl.
He died in this room I'm in, man. Come on, let's go.
All right.
So-
So you
Yeah.
you go back into the tunnel that you originally came into the chamber from. Okay.
Yep.
You go back through there and find yourselves in the bedroom chamber that you had initially encountered, where the nest of eggs had been laid in the bed. And are you just leaving the complex at this point, the way you came in?
Yeah,
I think so. Anybody?
we're backtracking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you leave the bedroom, end up in the long sort of the long hallway, crawl back through the tunnel in the ceiling that leads back to the initial larger chamber where Lucius had met his end and new beginning, and then down out the side tunnel and into the main hallway where you'd fought the little tiny creatures originally. And as you make your way out of the tunnel, you find yourselves standing on a cliff overlooking Deepborn Cleft, with darkness kind of spilling out below you, and the bright sky of day, of mid morning, above you. As you look up and find yourselves basically several, maybe like about 100 feet down from the surface.
This feels like a real Breath of the Wild introduction moment.
Listen, all I know is we got to go west. We got to go to Bremenal. There's unfortunately no fixed location for this place, but that's where the Stone Defilers are. We gotta go. We gotta take this thing from the shaman.
Hey, Rory, man. For one, do we have provisions to take a journey like that? Two, are we prepared for whatever we're gonna find there, man? If these people are truly defiling stones, what are they gonna do to us?
The thing is, and Raj, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I'm kind of familiar-ish with these people a little bit. I got a interesting background.
Yeah, I would say that you know of them.
Yeah.
And maybe you've had some light interactions with them, from your previous clan. But the Stone Defilers are in terms of viciousness and savagery, make the bugbears look like cuddly, kind of stuffed animals, right? They are incredibly bloodthirsty and capricious and violent. So difficult to, the interactions with them could be very difficult, right? You also know the land out there is incredibly harsh and unforgiving. There's very little respite in terms of water is very is difficult to come by. Like hunting and food, all that stuff is very tough.
What's our other option? What do you guys got?
We could fly there, man.
Nope, still can't do that.
Can we get an airship?
I don't remember seeing any in Cordis.
Raj, what's the 411 on airships?
You have never heard or seen of an airship per se, which a little bit of foreign concept to you as a creature who can just sort of fly on your own. But
scratch that from the record.
Yeah, but you know that whatchamacallit, the Stratus Excelsior Airy is certainly well, you know what? I will say that the Stratus Excelsior Airy does in fact have not necessarily what you would describe as an airship, but vehicles that float on the same principle as the city itself does. So smaller vehicles to help for longer journeys where Aarakocra can't fly the entirety themselves, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, man, we'll just go to the local city and get one of those airships. You guys not have airships here?
No, man. Cordis
is that something that happens with the way of the wind? They have ships that
it's
sail
nothing to do with the way of the
land.
wind, man. It's just my people. Sometimes long journeys, your wings get tired, man, and so you just use one of these airships.
Listen, our options could go to Cordis. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're fancy. We can go to Cordis.
Perhaps someone in the Argent Society has a ship that we could use, or a teleportation circle. I'm not familiar with these ships.
Ooh, magic.
But I know magic.
Raj, do we have a map kind of orienting where we are, where we think?
Yeah, do I know how far I might think Venomal might be from us?
Yeah, you have a rough idea. So you're about 40-ish miles to the northwest of Cordis,
Yeah.
which is sort of at the southern part of the Broken Waste, like the southernmost tip, essentially. Vremenal is about maybe 100 or so miles to the west. Probably a little bit less than that, somewhere between 75 and 100 miles.
West of Cordis?
West of where you are now. Directly west of where you are now.
Yeah, take a week to get there.
At the pace that people would normally go, it might take longer on foot.
I mean, here's the thing. When we set out, Sidonia sent us, and he didn't send us with an airship. We didn't even get Clawfoot, which we're basically going to travel at the same speed we did. I don't know how it's going to be helpful to backtrack.
Are there like... So we're under the impression that the land to the west is harsher, right?
It's very harsh, and Roar knows this. They like the area is called the Macraz, essentially, right? And this is a region of steep canyons. Basically, you're kind of walking in this maze at the bottom of this maze of like canyons and high mesas and plateaus that all kind of like crisscross against each other. And you could turn a blind corner and run into like a group of monsters, or be attacked from above by like some sort of creature that's like clinging to the walls. Like there's it's some of these might end in dead ends. Sometimes like if it rains, floods might come in and just like wash away everything at the bottom, and like you get caught in like a flood sort of thing. So it's a very dangerous area.
So airship, cool.
Did we ever
Mike,
see
this isn't going to be like Starclux, where you just because you say it happens.
Yeah. Do I remember seeing? I mean, I was at Cordis for a while. Do I remember seeing the airships ever there?
No, nothing like that. You've noticed.
Or Telworth? I spent a long time in Telworth.
I'll say that maybe once in Telworth you saw something fly by, but nothing that ever, like just flying over the Broken Waste, but never stopped. Like
Okay.
How far is Telworth from Cordis?
Telworth is to the northeast. It's sort of at the easternmost point of the Broken Waste. Probably about 100 miles from Cordis.
Yeah.
Opposite
I mean,
direction.
And how far are we currently from Cordis? 40 miles, you said?
About 40 miles. Yeah, it took you about 5-ish days to get to where you are now.
Yeah. Listen, unless Lucius, your Stratus Excelsior, wants to come back this way and maybe like pick us up and fly us there, I think we don't have much of a choice.
That's not an option, Raj, right?
Sorry, the option being
Me getting in contact with Stratus Excelsior and getting an airship. Like, what would I know about aircraft culture regarding that? Like, first, where Stratus Excelsior is, and second, access to an airship.
Yeah, so you do recall that just before you entered Deepborn Cleft, you had seen the Stratus Excelsior, the Airy, flying towards you in your general direction, right? So you it was relatively close, but you know that it was in a place where it was not supposed to have been according to its normal sort of migratory pattern around the Broken Waste. In terms of like the ease of procuring an airship, I mean, they're generally for sale at Stratus Excelsior. They run a hefty price, but they range in size and comfort and style and all that. So there might be a small one you could get a larger one perhaps. They're definitely there. They're definitely available.
All right, I don't see it in the sky right now.
I mean, you're sort of like halfway down the cleft, right? So all you see is like a sliver of sky above you.
All right, I'm like, bros, let me go see if I can see it right now, and I just fly up.
Sure, and we're going to start climbing up anyway.
Okay. All right. So while the rest of you climb up, Lucius, you take to the skies and do a few like swoops around in a spiral pattern to get up, get some altitude. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you crest the cleft and start climbing into the sky.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big and pretty obvious, and it's much closer to you now than it was before you entered, maybe like 1.5 to 2 days ago. or it would be 2 days ago. And you see it looming, maybe about like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 miles away from you. It seems to be moving in your general direction, like from wherever it was, like kind of in a beeline towards wherever you are right now.
All right, I fly back down to my friends, be like, bros, man, we are in luck. Stratus Celsius like coming this way, like 10 miles. That'll take me like, maybe like less than an hour. I don't know. Maybe faster than that, right?
I mean, like probably about a quarter to somewhere between a quarter to a third of a day, something like that.
Oh, it's longer than I thought.
I mean, you're flying at like what, 50 feet, so it's not like
Yeah.
you're not like 60 miles an hour, right? So.
All right.
That's how he pictures
Says
it.
you, Raj. At next level, I get to go plaid, so I can definitely fly that fast.
There you go. Yes, ludicrous speed. Yeah,
ludicrous speed. That's right. Bro, should I like? If you give me all your money, man, I can go see if we can get me an airship. It'd be like a day's journey. I get there, talk to some people, maybe get an airship, maybe not, but like, and then come back and
maybe you should take me with you.
no.
I've been there before.
Well, why not?
Well, actually,
can't you
could
take
you
him
like
on
make
with you?
yourself really small so I can carry you?
I can.
Actually, what is the Raj? Let's talk about the culture of bringing foreigners into.
But he could turn into an Aarakocra that couldn't fly.
So I have been to this place before. Let me look at it. So this is the Airy, right?
yes. It's gonna be so good.
So I
I don't know why Raj is giggling, but yes.
Woo! All right. Sorry. Please.
Do you remember what I wrote for this?
I do.
character? Yeah.
I do. I have it right in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So there's a love I have there, and with a teller at the bank actually. But anyway, let's actually and I should start shifting into a human. Nigel's the name, and they know me there.
Bro, did you say a bank, man?
Well, that's what the Stratus Excelsior's good for. It's a place to keep your money.
What's the name of the bank, man?
Yeah, it's called Chase Bank. I don't think it's that unusual.
Oh my
Not sure why they called it that.
It's the it is the Feathertoe Bank that you know.
Yeah.
So
you're talking-
I misspoke. Pardon me. It was actually Feathertoe.
I'm talking to Smiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going up there with him?
I think you should take me. I know quite a few people actually.
Feathertoe Bank, you say, man? Man. Tell me more about this teller.
Era? What about her? We're quite in love.
He like steps one step towards you and he goes, "Did you see me?
What do you mean?
name did you just utter
Era?
from your lips?"
Era, she's quite special. A little bit of a flirt, if you know what I mean.
He punches him straight in the face. He punches him.
Reaction.
He
reaction
punches
do I have?
him in the face.
Reaction do I have?
Ross, you're the worst. You're the worst.
What do I have?
Yes, make Raj laugh.
I
All
didn't.
right. You can go ahead. You take your strike. What do
Go
you
ahead.
got?
Make an attack roll. Make an attack roll. Unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike, 20, dirty.
Oh god.
Dirty
Okay.
20? Dirty 20? Silvery barbs.
Oh god.
What are you trying to do, mate?
What's Silver Barbs gonna do again?
You have to
roll
re-roll
again.
it again.
Perfect.
Critical success.
10.
Oh, I'm afraid you missed me.
Okay.
You
Oh,
dumb,
and then he-
you dumb
And you go in for a
bird-brained
hug. You
bird.
go in for a hug. You go in for a hug.
No, he grabs after missing the punch, he grabs Smiles and goes, Why do you know my mother's name, man? Why do you know my mother's name?
Your mother?
And he like starts
Well,
choking you. He tries to choke you.
I'm sure there are lots of. I'm sure there's lots of women with that name. She's quite attractive. You should be very glad and be proud of your mother.
This accent has gone down south real quick.
He's getting choked. He's getting choked. He's getting choked. And then Lucius is basically like, and he starts crying. He's like, why does she love you, man? Why does she love you, not me?
It's not.
And he like
it's not like that.
crumbles to the ground.
Come here, my son. Come here.
Yes, crying. He's like, why does she love you, not me, man? Why you? You're stupid.
There, my son. You're the stupid one. I viciously, my silvery barbs, and I gave advantage to Rory over there. That's nothing much.
I'm just watching.
I hate you, Nigel. I hate you. Flurry of blows.
Oh,
I'm gonna need the long rest before we go anywhere.
all right, make your attacks.
You're not helping anything. All right. 21.
Okay, I think that hits.
Silvery barbs. And you know what?
Well, it's technically he's using flurry of blows as a bonus action, which means it's part of the same turn.
So no
So you already used your reaction. Yeah.
All right, very well.
That's 8 points of damage.
Oh god.
8 points of damage.
Yeah, and the second one was 11.
Oof.
All right, Smiles is on the ground. He's passed out. He's dead.
He's not actually dead, is he?
18 points of damage.
Eight
Total.
Yeah.
Wait, did you had a long rest though? No.
Yeah.
Smiles is unconscious.
How did you take 8? You took a long rest.
But you have the option to restore your hit points, and I just chose not to.
Why would you?
I don't think you do. Not for a long rest.
For extra bardic inspiration. No, yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
You could pretend like you're get knocked out. Oh.
Yeah. All right. That's what I do. I fall to the ground and act.
And we need a
completely
performance check. We need a what's it called? What's the
deception? Deception check.
Yeah, you get either deception or performance, either one.
Deception it is for a 28.
20. Okay, yeah. So
I'm like, you killed him.
And
You do
Rory,
that. You do that. You do that
advantage-
fake
You
death.
have advantage on your next attack.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Lucius, you miss with the first strike because of his silvery barb. He just kind of like, mildly insults you and causes you to miss. But with your second strike, you just kind of uppercut him and you just basically one punch man him, and he just like tumbles backwards, in slow motion, and just like falls backwards and hits the ground hard. And you look down at your fist, your taloned fist, and just marvel at the innate strength that's been bestowed upon you.
And he's just tears coming down his face. He goes, "It's my mom, man.
Lucius,
How do you know my mom?"
Lucius, it's okay, bud. It's okay. Oh man.
He turns to Rory, like both fists clenched,
Mhm.
and like they're. I'm gonna say this, Raj. You can tell me if it's not true. They're like glowing. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Not you too, Rory. Not you too." And
No, bud.
he just is like,
I just.
"What do you know, my dad?"
No. Is he?
What are you banging my dad?
The big bird like you? Come here, bud. No, come here, bud. I'm just coming for a hug.
He is a big bird.
Yeah. You're a big bird.
Minor illusion. I whisper into Lucius's ear. I am your father.
Do
boy.
I hear the voice of Smiles or Nigel or whatever it is?
I am your father. I don't know. I don't have minor illusion.
Okay, damn.
God. You that would not have been a good move.
Yeah.
All right, so
Hey, Lucius. What was your mother's name?
He turns to Valfire and he just goes, Why are you talking to me, man? Thought I was an abomination to you, man.
You are. Niles was saying that he took your mom out for a nice seafood dinner and didn't call her back. Anyway.
Nigel's the name.
Nigel.
Lucius just flies off.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
flies off.
Okay. All right, and that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Wow.
We'll return next week
He
to
doesn't
find out.
care that he killed me. He doesn't care at all. His mother and I are very good friends.
We'll find out next week what happens and how
idea.
Lucius reacts to the thought of Nigel's potential death. All right, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you all next week.
Peace.
Woo-wee.